Yo, this video's about Trontavious Stephens, Young Thug's right-hand man, one of the founders of YSL, taking a stand against a man he calls his brother. So I'm going to speak about real life experiences, what that felt like for Young Thug. So sit back. I'm giving you an exclusive you're not going to get from anyone else. I'm going to let you know what it feels like to sit there and watch your comrade, a man you consider as a brother that you broke bread with, when he turns government informant. You know what it is. Unique Mecca Hall, man. You know, a.k.a. Unique Mecca Audio. So check it out. Make sure you cop the book of Raw in Harlem. Now, Trontavious Stephens, a.k.a. Tick, for the rest of this story, right? He took a plea deal. He took a plea deal to save his ass for what he felt was best for him, which is understood. You know what I mean? But you could take a plea deal and not have to testify against your comrade. But when you're dealing with the government, especially in the South, they try and play you into telling you only way you could get a plea is to tell on your comrades. If you don't tell on your comrades, we won't accept your plea. So what he did now, to break it down so you understand, because I've been through this, 30 years ago, but I've been through this. What Tick did was, he gave them a bunch of information, enough information for them to feel like, okay, he could help us convict his brother. Now, he gave all these statements and he said what he had to say, and they felt that was enough, so they put a piece of paper in front of him and gave him a plea deal, told him you're going to get X amount of time, but you got to testify. The whole time Tick was in the cell, it was eating him up. I'm talking about, I know it was eating at his soul, like, man, I got to get on the stand in front of my comrade and look at him and point him out and say all these things that we always knew that we not supposed to do. Because all this is an unspoken rule. That's why when you get rat bastards and flip-flop win and public trolls saying crazy things, like this. Let me give you an example of what I be hearing these, rat bastards saying. They'll go up there and they'll say, oh, he's doing the right thing because he's looking out for him. But him and his comrades was one at one time. Meaning if someone tried to do something to Thug defended Tick. If someone tried to do something to Tick, Thug defended Tick, Tick defended Thug. Bottom line, where I'm going with this, because this is a sad story. I hate even reporting on this, but my platform, as you already know, Unique Mecca Audio. I give you all the unique perspective, and I break it down so that hopefully it'll deter you, the youth or the elders, from going down the wrong path. So now he gets on the stand, and when he gets on the stand, it was eating him up so bad he changed his mind. He ain't really want to tell on his comrade, But he had to take the stand to get the deal. So he get up there and they ask him little questions. He gave misleading answers and short answers and vague answers and played real stupid. It's nothing wrong with playing stupid, because look, if I get pulled over by the police, I play straight square. You know what I mean? I'm just a Bama from Delaware. Not disrespecting Delaware, but it just sounds slick. That's what we used to say back in the day, like I'm just old Bama from Alabama, you know what I mean? Or I'm from, Tupelo, Mississippi, because we thought that was funny when we first heard that name in New York. No disrespect to Tupelo. Matter of fact, let's give Tupelo, Delaware, and Mississippi a round of applause. That way you know that. Calm down, y'all. Calm down. Calm. Yeah, whoa. Let me finish. Now, that's not a disrespect to them. But I get pulled over by the police, I'm going to act like, I don't know nothing. I'm just a square. You know what I mean? And I'm officer this, and that takes away, the power from them by letting them thinking that you already gave them the power by you playing stupid. You know, bottom line, like I told you all the story about when I came out of a weed house, was high as heck, came downstairs. There was no light in there, so it was pitch dark in the weed house other than whatever was coming through the green bags that was up there. We up there smoking weed, chilling, you know, to get off the street. And then we go downstairs. So we walk downstairs. I bump into a cop, big, thick ass mustache, you know, like those, you know, white farmers be wearing. And he talked to me, what are you doing? I said, no, I went there to take a pee, officer. And he's like, what do you mean you went to take a pee? I said, no, I didn't want to, you know, risk getting arrested because I never had a charge and I don't understand what's going on. So I just went in the building to take a pee. And then the cop is like, but do you know? And he's pointing his finger at me. And the whole time he's pointing his finger at me, I got a big dirty 357 Magnum on my waist. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, I could just blow that mustache clear off his face. This was on my mind, you know? So instead, you know, I start laughing. Because just the thought had me laughing. You know, you're supposed to laugh at the Pope, but I'm laughing, you know, and I'm like playing stupid. He's like, what's so funny? And I'm saying, no, I've never been pulled over by the police, and now I know what everybody's experiencing. I used to watch that show, Cops, and I see the way people get pulled over, and I'm just really nervous right now. And I got a big dirty magnum pump, man. I could just end this conversation, you know, but I let him feel like he had the power. I was scared, and he's in charge, which is the same thing, because I would just ride. You already know I ride. You know, which is the same thing as what Tick was going through. Tick get up there and he's playing stupid. Tick said he can't remember how old he was in sixth grade. You know what I mean? She said, okay, let's do the math. So he said, well, I was never good at math. You know, I never even got my GED. Y'all didn't even catch that. He was a real comedian. But see, what he did was, and that's why they had to allow it, because they can't get on him like they want to in front of the jury and say, you know, we're going to take your plea back if you don't sit here and say the things you told us in the past. Da, da, da. So now they got to slide it out of him. So they got to play the game. So Tick is like, man, you know, I don't know how old I was in sixth grade. I wasn't really good at math. You know, I failed that part of the GED, you know, and, you know, he said it real honorably. Then when she said, okay, let's do the math. So he sat there and he grabbed a pen. He said, okay, because I got to write this down. I said, man, put that pen down. You played too stupid. You know, that's how the prosecutor acted. But what he did was take away their power. And they asked them stuff like, you know what I mean, what does, you know, YSL mean? What does why you spell crazy, you know, with a K on your neck, you know? Or why did you have, you know, that red mark in your tattoo? You know, you know, that's the only color to take to my skin. You know, I used the K because I got it from a movie and da-da-da, and I didn't want them to think this. And he's making up all these things, and I'm looking and I'm saying, man, this man really don't want to do it, man, but it's too late. He already signed his name to it. They went as far as giving to his testimony, his statements that he gave them in private, and said, read this. You know what I mean? So then he read it. Then they said, okay, is that what you said? You know, so that's why how they getting the statement on the record. They even asked, you know, Tick, what do you call, you know, Young Doug? You know? And he sat there, he thought about it, like, let me think, what do I call him? Okay, what do my brother, you know? I said, okay, but what else do you call him? Right there, he should have just said, that's it. I call him my brother. But instead, you know, he can't just shut him down. He have to play like he's answering their questions willingly so they don't take his plea agreement back. So he said, I call him bro. You know what I mean? And he said, okay, so he's your brother. And as he said that, Young Thug is sitting there. I know what he's feeling. Young Thug is sitting there and he's looking like this dirty mother. I trusted him with my life. I put my life on the line for this dude. And now he's sitting there across from me, pointing me out in the courtroom. But he couldn't say nothing, so he just clenched his jaw. You know what he's thinking about doing. So that's why I tell the youngest, don't get involved in crime, because you don't want to wind up in that situation and wind up in nobody, you know, on nobody's stand playing all these little games, because it don't work that way. You know, it definitely don't work that way. So he sat there, and as he's sitting there, he's trying to figure out what is going on. And then they asked him, you know what I mean, what does snitching mean? You know? He said, it don't mean nothing to me. You know what I mean? Because they wanted him to say that he was, you know, a rat bastard. So he said, you know, it don't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? He said, so but what does it mean? And he said, I don't know. He said, and then they asked him, well, have you heard of that before? And he said, yeah. So he said, okay, well, use the sentence in the way it was used. So he said, he snitched, you know? And when he said that, I'm cracking up on the other side. I'm like, man, this dude really don't want to be up there, but he's trying to, fulfill the obligations of his plea agreement to still get whatever time they promised him. And the prosecutor is furious. And the judge see it. The judge know what's going on. But he hoping that, the jury see it. But then as it's going on now, they ask him, and this is the one that gets me the most, the judge was acting like he was for the trial. People, I even see people put in the comments, oh, the judge is with Young Thug, he gonna beat it, he gonna this, he gonna that. We pray he beats it. You know what I mean? But don't let that judge fool you. I had a judge, right? My judge, the same one that released me, My judge said when I was going to trial, he was telling little jokes and, he's asking the jury, oh, you hot? Because it was in June. Would you like me to turn the opinion on? And so the jury is like, it is a little stuffy. He's like, I'm stuffy too. I turned the air conditioner on. And he's trying to make it look like he's, for the people and trying to, that way they don't look at it like he's being a hard ass for the government, which he was being 100% for the government. But he's trying to make it look like, defendant talking to me, oh, you hot? And I just sat there and I looked at him. I said, do you care? You got me in a hot seat trying to give me life with no parole. And you ask me if I'm hot. Nigga, I'm on fire, fuming right now. And when I say to everybody, bust out laughing. I told him straight up, like, don't play these games with me, man. Y'all trying to take my life and you asking me, how do I feel? How do I feel? I feel like a frog in a pot of lukewarm water, chilling, just enjoying the temperature. And then you turn the fire up more, and the water starts to get hotter and hotter. And even though I know that it's getting hotter and I'm about to burn to death, I got so comfortable. That's how the frog gets comfortable in that pot of water. They wanted me so comfortable that I sit there with a smile like I'm enjoying the proceeding and it's a fair proceeding. That judge is slick. Young Thug judge and my judge, But I sat there and I'm looking at it, like I know he don't really care about me. And it just blew my mind, So I want you to know what Young Thug feel like looking at his comrade sitting right across from him on the stand. Something that he never thought and never dreamt would happen in a million years. That's the most hurtful feeling in the world. Because if this the man that you bared arms for to defend his life, his honor, and now he's standing there trying to take your life. But Tick really tried to avert it. And I seen people put in the comments, he's not really snitching, this and that. He wasn't. Let me say this, he wasn't. Oh, y'all put in it. You think he was, he wasn't. He wasn't at first, at the beginning, because he was being very evasive. So he was really helping Thug at one point. Because see, there's something, let me ride. Just because a man take the stand don't mean he's snitching. And I know all these rat bastards gonna put in the comments, but I'm gonna give you an example. Just because a man take the stand don't mean he's snitching. I had comrades take the stand at my trial, and they stood there at my trial, and they testified in my behalf, letting them know how rat bastards and snitches jump on people's case, listen to what other people saying, the government give them paperwork and tell them to study it and come back and tell me what's the best story you could tell so they can pick who they're going to use to get on the stand to burn you so that they can give them a couple of years off their sentence they got so they can work it down by bringing more people in. You understand? Those men that took the stand in my defense was not snitching. Because it was in my defense. So when young Tick goes up there, and I'm saying young because he's half my age, yes, half my age, I'm 59 going on 60 in May. When Tick takes the stand and he was being evasive, and you know, they asked him, was Young Thug a part of the original founding of Cleveland Ave? He said, nah, you know, Cleveland Ave started with people that was born and raised on Cleveland Ave, and, you know, and Jeffrey was born and raised there. So that's how he's trying to pull him out of it at the beginning of it. Remember how it went? That's why I waited to the end to put this in. He's like, now he wasn't born and raised there. So he said he wasn't born and raised, so he wasn't one of the founders. But as it went on, the government saw what he was doing, and they kept probing and probing until he admitted that he was one of the founding members. But he wasn't really trying to go there, you know? Now, then they spoke about the business aspect. They spoke about what does YSL, the record label, mean, the music thing. It means positivity, Just like Thug's lawyer in the open statement said, it means, what slime meant or whatever, and he broke it down to make everything means pushing positivity. You see, those are the games you play. When you're at trial, right, it turns out to be, whoever writes the best movie script. So it's like writing, Power or Canaan, and everybody's submitting the roles that they want the characters to play, and they pick the best one. That's how it is when you go to trial, and, you got the defense lawyer and you got the prosecutor. They both trying to, sell their movie script to the jurors. But this is the ultimate price that it's going to cost, because it's going to cost somebody their life and liberty, whether it's a day in jail or life in jail. So this is how this plays out, right? So this young man didn't really want to testify against his man, but he had to in order to keep his deal. And you're not going to hear it now because they don't want it to get out, but you better believe they're going to try and say he reneged on his plea agreement. But he didn't, because he took the stand and he clearly said, I don't recall, I don't remember, I don't know math, I don't this, I don't that. But they got enough damage and stuff out of him, because I think they showed a gas station or something. It was a red building. And he said, yeah, the YSL members sold drugs out of there. That's straight snitching, because now you're saying something that could get them. And, that is so crazy that it went to him trying to defend Thug, being evasive and still trying to keep his deal, to him turning over damaging evidence and testimony to the jury when he pointed out that picture. Then they gave him his statement to read. And they gave him his plea agreement to read, to let him know you're under obligation. If you lie, we're going to pull it. So he didn't lie. He just said, I don't remember. They can never say you lie if you say, I don't remember. Just like, let's ride, you cool with your man's girl, you and your man, his girl real good. Now, she asks you, did my man have such and such in the car? And you say, I didn't see it. You know what I mean? But wasn't you in the car with him yesterday? Yeah, but I don't remember seeing, the girl in the car. But my girlfriend said she seen you in the back and the girl in the front. And he's like, oh, I don't remember that. Like, who was that said, what was it, Shaggy? It wasn't me. And you just stick with it. The same type of thing. So that's where he tried to go with it, young chick. He tried like a mother to defend his brother. And at first, I was feeling it. And then when they started getting him to say other things that was implementing Thug, that's where it all changed. And I know Thug hurting in his heart, sitting there looking at him. I even seen the news people reported that he was about to cry. He looked so bad, But this dude tried to help Thug so much. He said, man, I ain't never been good at math. I didn't pass the GED part of the math test, it was just so crazy. And then when they asked him, who is Thug? Like, what do you call Thug? And he said, my brother. So then you're like, so why are you up here testifying against a man you call your brother? That's from selfishness. Straight selfishness, you know? All he's worried about is his ass. That's like when I got caught. I couldn't see me telling on my comrades that didn't get caught. Because why would I want to bring them in to go through the misery that I'm going through, and I still got to go through the misery, even though, that would have shortened my time. But then for that short time that I did, for the rest of my life, I would have had to have it in my heart and the demons to haunt me that I brought my brothers into the devil's den. See my platform so you understand. I bring people up here because I'm a journalist. I speak on certain topics because I'm a journalist. I tell prison stories, I report on the trials, and I speak on the Diddy and Cassie and this and that. And a lot of people might not like what I speak on it. But, I just try and give you a different perspective as a journalist and try not to weigh in as much as possible. But just because I bring somebody on my platform does not mean that I agree with them. Excuse me. That does not mean that Mecca Audio, unique Mecca Audio, or this platform agree with everybody I'm bringing up here. I'm just bringing them up here because I want you, the viewers, my subscribers, the listeners, the youth, the elders, to know what not to do to prevent you from going through what I went through. Does that make sense to y'all? I'm taking my time to do this so you understand. I bring people up here because I want you to know what not to do. Just like when Geraldo Rivera interviewed the KKK. That didn't mean that he agreed with the KKK or he was a KKK. That just meant that he wanted the people to see what a racist person looked like so that they wouldn't in turn follow in those footsteps and be racist. So if I interview somebody, I'll bring up somebody up here, I even speak on someone, that I don't, or Unique Mecca Audio don't agree with their stance. That's just for educational purposes so you know what not to do. Do you follow where I'm at with this? Is this making any sense? Make sure, right? I'm about to tap out, Cash App on the screen. I don't care if it's $1, $5, $2, whatever. Make sure you cop the book of Raw in Harlem, I'm going to weigh in on the Cat Williams video, but it's long, so I'm going to have to break it down in parts because Cat Williams spoke a lot. But the first thing he said that I liked is when they said, how are you going to sit here and talk about these people? Right? He said, how are you going to sit and talk about these other comedians? Cat Williams said, because they're up here trying to change the narrative of the facts of our comedic history. And I'm here to set it straight because I'm not going to let them run with that false propaganda and change the facts. Just like he said, Ricky Smiley said that he was supposed to play him in Friday, and he broke that down. Watch that Cat Williams video. Can you believe the joint been up 2 days? I've never seen nothing like it my whole time watching YouTube. So y'all tell me if you've seen it. Put it in the comments. Cat Williams video been up 48 hours and got 28 million views. Cat Williams video been up 2 days and got 28 million views. Can you believe that? Can you imagine how much money that show made off of that one episode? And that's why Cat Williams said, man, I'm not up here for the views or for the this and that. I'm just up here to set the record straight because people trying to play with this comedic thing. And he talked about all the comedians and gave up all the game. See, I'm reporting right now, from a journalist state of mind. From a journalist state of mind. That's why I'll bring anyone up here, Cat Williams is speaking of men, on men, on man time. Cat Williams is staying on man time. Right? Even if y'all hate me, because I think it was Bernie Mac's daughter even made a reaction video to what Cat Williams said. I didn't see it yet, but I'm going to watch all that, and I might, weigh in on Cat Williams all this week, to give a clearer understanding than what the YouTube rap bastards and fake bloggers is sitting here trying to just, discredit Cat Williams or saying he disrespected. If he's telling, if he's telling the truth, then he's speaking facts, Bernie Mac's daughter gave thanks to Cat Williams, is what I think I seen, But somebody's daughter went up there and said that they didn't like what he said about their father, So I assume he was passed away. But anyway, I've been up here long enough. Cop the book of Roy Harlem, man. You know what time it is. Just wanted to give you something on this beautiful snowy Sunday. All right.
Cheers, cheers. Toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.